work with the people to gain their trust. This is made considerably easier by their being assigned to the districts they grew up in, among the people who know them.
They're not left entirely on their own. Military units on the periphery help to deter the enemy from coming back. But these men still carry a heavy share of the responsibility for village security.
Within this screen of security, the cadre teams begin rooting out the VC infrastructure, if one exists.
Chúng tôi đã được kế hân hạnh đến đây để tiếp
At the
xúc với
same
đồng bào.
time, the spade work of the social revolution begins, with a full explanation to the people of just what the cadres are in the village for and what they hope to accomplish.
This is not always an easy step. The overwhelming majority of the people of South Vietnam are dead opposed to everything that the enemy stands for, but their experience has made them wary. Too often they've watched the VC murder anyone who has cooperated with the government. They have to be persuaded that this won't happen again.
It's the job of the cadres to do that persuading, and also to persuade the villagers that their welfare is actually of deep concern to their emerging nation. One team starts out right away to find out what the people's particular problems are, what is needed the most to improve life in the village.
Liệu định chứ mình dân dã chỉ mình muốn làm ăn vậy thôi, muốn yên ổn mình làm ăn vậy thôi.
Once the problems have been determined, another team starts organizing the effort to solve them. This is where the people's first commitment takes hold. But what the cadres must do now is encourage and lead the villagers into tackling the projects themselves. The team will find the necessary materials and supplies to be used, often from U.S. sources. But the people have to contribute their labors and energies. As their work progresses, the cadres encourage and supervise the election of community leaders. When a village gripped with fear or mired in apathy awakens to a sense of its own importance and feels the stirrings of faith in itself and in the far-off government which is demonstrating its compassion and concern, when the people of a community begin to take their destiny in their hands, that is the transformation of social revolution. And it is precisely this which the Revolutionary Development cadres are endeavoring to bring to the villages of Vietnam.
They stay in the village for several months, sometimes a year. When their job is through, if they've done it well, they will leave behind them a community of people who now are able to believe in their future, who are determined to work for it, to share in the defense of it. One of the final missions of a cadre group is to train a self-defense force from among the able-bodied villagers, a force prepared to help meet any attack by the enemy. When this happens, the people's commitment is complete.
Việt Nam kêu gọi xương máu, Việt Nam kêu gọi thương nhau, Việt Nam đây xây đất.
Vietnam has a lot riding on these men.
We all have.
That's right. We all have.
Việt Nam quê hương đất nước sáng ngời. Việt Nam, Việt Nam, Việt Nam muôn đời.
No one can say with absolute certainty that Vietnam is going to succeed in building the nation it wants during the hardships and trials of war. But powerful ideas generate their own growth, even in the most bitter of climate. One of these is the belief in individual man's dignity and his right to determine his own course. It is this idea which animates Vietnam's spirit today. It is an idea with which we Americans are familiar. It is to honor our commitment to this idea that we take our stand, and will hold our stand in this troubled land of a worthy and brave ally. I'd like to leave you with one thought in mind, to understand, to really understand what the Vietnamese are trying to do today. We can think of our own country just less than 2 centuries ago. We had won our revolution, won it on the battlefield, and it took from 1776 to 1787, 11 years for our founding fathers to build the substance and structure that is now our great nation. The Vietnamese are trying to do both of these things at once, not because they want to, but because they must. Because history will not give them the luxury of the time that it once gave us.
Vietnam.